case. There's nothing stopping us now. All right, patrons, here's your fun time. We'll see you in a minute. All right, save. Go to the main file. Double click it. Double click. All right, there we go.
Cool.
I feel like I'm missing something. I guess I'm not.
I know. I get that feeling too.
I hate that feeling.
I do too.
Makes me feel unready.
Oh, by the way, that well, we can talk about it on the show. I'll mention it on the show.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Okay. Might as well.
All right.
We're in purgatory right now between the patrons and the podcast.
Oh,
Nobody gets
true.
to hear what we're doing except for the streamers.
That's true. Well, and then the archive video people, they'll hear it.
Oh, right.
Right. They're not a very big group though. Okay, here we go. It's recording. Is it? Yes, it is. And it's time. It begins in 3, 2, 1.
I thank all of y'all for following me. I appreciate it. Some of y'all very pretty. A lot of good-looking girls, a lot of good-looking women. That's all I need, one woman. And I'll be happy as a lark on a tree.
You are a giggity rocket launcher.
I'm getting too old for this show. This is the morning stream.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the morning stream for Tuesday, January 14th, 2020. I'm Scott Johnson. That's Brian Ibbett. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning, Scott. Happy Tuesday to you.
Thanks, man. It's, early in the week yet, but we'll be humping by tomorrow, won't we? That'll be happening.
Rephrase, please.
Well, all right. What else can we call hump day?
I just wouldn't say it as we'll be humping by tomorrow.
Oh, got it.
I'm an old-fashioned guy, Scott. You need to wine and dine me first, my friend.
Need to take you to dinner, take you someplace nice.
Exactly. Come on, not on the
Sure.
1,860th date.
We don't want to jump right into that. Oh, actually, we do. Okay, a quick note, and then I want to hear about your mystery date. Speaking of dates.
Funny. Okay.
It's a good transition. But real quick, I'm not going to complain about YouTube anymore, but I am going to say this because people are probably sick of me talking about it. Mm-hmm. People have been saying, hey, what's a good alternative? And I've got a couple of things going. I'm putting stuff up on library, but also I am now going to put every episode into a collection on Twitch every day. So what that does is that keeps those from expiring, and I can have up to 100 per collection. So there'll always be 100 of the latest TMS episodes.
Oh, nice.
In there, although right now I think there's only 8 because they expire, but it'll build up to 100, and then once we hit 100, one will fall out the back, a new one will go in every day, and
so you'll always be able to see. Well, in 92 days, you'll be able to see the last 100 episodes.
Correct. Correct. It's
I
gonna
think really 92 days, like whatever it is, 5 days, 5 out of 7 shows a week.
Exactly.
Blah, blah, blah.
That is absolutely true, and so. That'll be okay. So if the YouTube thing shakes loose and they get me my account back, I'll continue to put them there, but I'll also keep these collections up. So my goal is, hey, how about multiple places for things? How about that? So same thing. Cool. Rainbow Bright goes for Frog Pants Plays. I haven't set that up yet, but other shows, Core, Boop, The Instance, all of anything I stream live, I will put in these collections, and it's one sort of way to kind of keep an archive going, at least up to 100 episodes per group. So we'll do that, and then clips stay forever, so those aren't going anywhere. Anyway, just trying to kind of maximize how many, trying to keep my eggs in multiple baskets, and it was a good wake up call, the YouTube stuff anyway, because it's a reminder that you should probably not count on one place for your video archive, which is what I was doing,
right?
Because I figured it would never go away, but yet here we are. So that's that. Brian, let's talk about dates. You ate one and the monkey died, or you were about to eat one, the monkey died, and Sala said, "Don't eat that." Indy,
he caught it midair before it went in my mouth.
Yeah,
and,
that would be bad,
yeah.
real bad. No, you had a mystery date. How'd it go?
I did. This is one where I took Tina out on a mystery date. This one stretched over 2 days because we had after I'd kind of planned things out, we had a surprise get-together event with the the West End Arvada Pokemon group, where we all went to a really cool traditional Japanese restaurant to celebrate one of our members hatching 10,000 eggs. Anyway,
Right.
anyway, go ahead, get it all out.
No, it's all good. I like it.
No, but it was a really cool time. We had a great time, like, passing dumplings around, and went to this place in Colorado called Domo in Denver, right by downtown. Amazing ramen. Holy cow. Like, the ramen of this place was so fantastic.
That sounds so good right now. I want ramen.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Oh,
really
love
does.
ramen. Anyway, so that kind of switched around plans that Tina and I had for Mystery Date. We did basically what was going to be the second half on Saturday, and then we did what was going to be the first half on Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Second half was this place. It's an art installation that just got put into Boulder, Colorado, called Wonder Wonder.
Okay.
Wonder Wonder is an art installation that is kind of like, it's pretty much got one major purpose: to give you really cool backgrounds for photos. That's really the idea behind Wonder Wonder. It's a like, there's a Groupon, you pay $20, and it's admission for 2 into this place, and it's about 15 different rooms that are all set up really cool. So over the next year or so, you're probably going to see my avatar on Facebook and Twitter change fairly regularly, finally, after years of always being the same. But like, one room has a bunch of candles, LED candles dangling from the ceiling. The room is black with all these candles, so that you look like you're surrounded by Harry Potter floating candles, kind of thing.
Ooh, that's cool. I like that.
That one's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Another one has got these weird fluorescent glowing cubes that you stand amongst, and then there's this other one that's got fiber optic lights and mirrored walls, so it looks like you're just surrounded by all of these pinpoints of light. It is really amazing.
Seems rad. Sounds rad.
And I'd love to be an artist that does an installation in here, because that's kind of a cool, instead of saying, all right, I'm going to create a painting or a sculpture, it's like, all right, I'm going to really, deck out this room to make it an amazing background for photographs.
Yeah, it's cool. We have there's a place downtown that always resets itself and is basically a rotating art installation, and they do the same sort of thing where sometimes it's like that weird kitchen thing you went to that time. Remember where the fridge was a door?
Yeah.
And
well, yeah, that's Meow Wolf, and that's like a whole house that's done up like that. There's one of those
really
coming
cool.
to Vegas, and there's one of those being built right now in Denver too, a Meow Wolf.
Ooh, they should. When's the Vegas one done?
Not in time for us to check it out, but it's certainly by next year. It should be
Jerks.
by 2021. That's all. George R.R. Martin.
Oh, I didn't know that
stuff. Yeah, he created the first one, or helped fund or produce the first one in Albuquerque.
Wow. Does he ever show up?
I'm sorry, Santa Fe, not Albuquerque.
Oh, that makes
Santa
sense.
Fe.
Yeah, because he's down there.
And I'm sure he shows up. I'm sure he goes and checks it out and slides down the little refrigerator door slide.
Yeah. Says, I'm never finishing book 6, and then runs, then leaves.
Right, exactly. Yeah, he funded it. Okay, Soko Fab Lab says added money, not created, but he did help. Contribute the funds to make it. Anyway, there is one in Vegas, by the way, something similar to Wonder Wonder. If any of us want to go check it out while we're there, it's been added to Mandalay Bay, and it's called Happy Place, and it's a similar kind of thing. It's just basically a really cool art exhibit where you're supposed to have photos taken.
Nice.
Maybe we get TVZ gone to go with us, and we go and take some
like some
TMS
real
promotional
photos. Yeah, some good
Yeah.
photos. Sure.
some good photos to use for the website and stuff.
Yeah.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Now that I say it out loud.
Well, if he's coming, he's always
Yeah.
got his camera with him. I don't know if he's coming or not, but if
Exactly.
he does come, that'd be cool.
He is coming, and he says that could happen.
Okay.
The second part of the date, which we did on Sunday, was dim sum, and this is something I definitely want to try and work in when we go to Vegas next month. There's a place in the Rio called KJ that is an amazing dim sum place. Alex and Gidget and I went there the first day last year, before people had really started showing up,
Yeah.
and just grabbed lunch there. But it's basically a a dim sum place where they wheel around the carts, the steamer carts, and they come to your table and go, Shamai, and they lift up the little bamboo baskets and show you what's in them. And like, oh yeah, that looks good. I'll have some of that. Chicken feet? No, pass. What's that? Oh yeah, I'll have some of that. Is pork in there? Cool. All right, give me some bao.
That sounds great.
You have to be hungry when you go there, because you've been to the churrascarias, like where they come around with meat, like the Brazilian meat restaurants.
Oh yeah, we got a couple of big ones here. I haven't been in forever, but yeah, they bring and the chicken hearts. F you, chicken hearts. No chicken hearts for me.
Right. You know what? And people in the chat room right now are like saying, "Oh, don't pass up the chicken feet." Everything I hear about those chicken feet are that they're amazing. I just can't bring myself to eat chicken feet.
I ate chicken feet in China, and it was good, but it's still I couldn't. The idea that I was chewing like sinew and feet off the foot of a freaking chicken is too much.
Cartilage or something,
yeah,
right?
It's foul. Can't do it. I did it once. I'll never do it again. I'm done. No more chicken feet.
You know what? If we have a group of us that go take over KJ, maybe Friday afternoon before we have to go to Boulder City, because they only do dim sum in the middle of the day, and that was the problem with this other place. You can't really go for dinner. They do dim sum from like 10:30 until 3, so it's really like a lunch thing. There's no, I don't know what it is about dim sum that you can't do it for dinner. Seems like it'd be a perfect dinner thing.
Yeah, it's weird.
But
wonder why that is. Why is that? Why don't they just do it at night?
Don't know why. But
right.
Anyway, so we went to a place in Denver that's known for their dim sum called Star Kitchen, and it was great. But man, go there hungry, because you're gonna want to try a bunch of different things, and especially the fewer of you there are, the tougher it is to get a variety of things, because each plate you get has 3 or 4 items on it, 3 or 4 of the thing.
Yeah.
And if there's just 2 of you, you're going to fill up really quick on like 4 plates and not really get a variety. But if you go there with a ton of people, then it's like, oh, let me have one of those dumplings over there. Are you going to have that bao? Let me try that bao. Or give me half of that bao. And
what's a bao? What is that?
Bao are the steamed pork buns, made recently famous by a Pixar short where a woman falls in love with a pork bun, and then her husband hires a male prostitute who looks like that pork bun to pose as her son. I think that's how it goes. I'm not 100%
Yeah,
sure.
I think that interpretation's dead on. I think you got it. Okay, I didn't realize that that's what those were called, but those always look good. Even in that cartoon, they look really good to me.
Yes, yeah, because they're really light and fluffy, and then filled with a nice spicy pork in the middle of it.
It sounds really good. I'm into it. All
so
right.
Anyway, let's plan on a little dim sum while we're in Vegas.
Yeah, we'll figure out a way. That sounds good. And you think the Rio one's the best one, or one of the best ones?
The Rio one. Here's what I know about the Rio one. One of my friends in the trivia team is a guy named Dave. Dave is a lawyer, and Dave has like other lawyers that he knows around the country, because I guess they meet at lawyer conventions. I don't know how that all works.
Sure. Who knows what the lawyers do when the
There's
lights are out.
an Asian lawyer that he knows in New York who says that the dim sum places that he goes to in New York can't hold a candle to the one in the Rio.
Really? Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
So take that for whatever it's worth. It's like, okay, I mean, an Asian lawyer in New York says the one at the Rio is better than the ones in New York, which blows my mind.
Wow. All right. Look, sometimes Vegas does this. They do a thing better than anywhere else, and it's weird that they do it. So I'm fine with that. All right, we'll check it out. Hey, did you see that? You see that Morbius trailer? Did you see that?
I did. Yes.
Yeah, and I know you're familiar
Jared
with
Leto.
You're more Jared Leto's in it. You're more of a Morbius not fan, but you know more about him than I do. Does any of this strike true to you? Does it look good?
Yeah, I mean they're sticking fairly close to the character's powers. I mean, all right, so basically Morbius is this doctor who has this disease. He figures out a way that he can cure it is to inject himself with some sort of irradiated blood or something. That I can't remember the origin, but basically he becomes a living vampire.
Okay.
Kind of like Blade, but not. He's more. Morbius is vampire where Blade is like more dude than vampire.
I see what you mean. Yeah, leans more vampire than. But is he
Leans
is he
more
a
vampire.
hero or is he an anti-hero?
He's-
Like what's
he's
his
an
deal?
anti-hero.
Okay.
He has worked with Spider-Man. He's worked with Doctor Strange. He kind of started out as a enemy of Spider-Man, but then they kind of like he's kind of like he's the Dexter of vampires. He has to consume blood, but he only consumes it from bad people.
Gotcha. Okay, I figured that was kind of the way they were going to go with it. But
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever read a Morbius comic, and a bunch of people yesterday on Twitter are like, "Dude, this is my favorite comic ever, my favorite character. I can't believe
People
they're
who
going to
love
finally do it."
Morbius love Morbius. My uncle is one of those people who collects every appearance that Morbius has in the Marvel universe.
Nice.
Buys every comic where Morbius is featured.
So does he? The part where he's reaching his hand out in the cave and a bunch of bats slam into him, is that part of the origin, or is that a?
Not to my knowledge. That I think has added for Marvel or for Sony Pictures effect. But he can't fly. He's basically more agile, a little bit of extra strength. He can't fly, although there were times in the comics that it looked like he could glide basically, or maybe it was just jumping from rooftop to rooftop.
Oh, okay.
Big like Blade and Morbius, mortal enemies. Like
Oh, they don't like each other, do they?
they don't like each other.
Oh, that would be a fun combo. I wouldn't mind
That would, yeah.
But now Disney has
but
the
now
rights
Blade
back
is
to
MCU,
Yeah,
right,
it's
exactly.
MCU, so you can't use it.
Mahershala
Or-
Ali, right, is going to be Blade.
I
in
think
MCU?
so. Wasn't that the
Yeah.
talk? I heard that somewhere.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I will say that I saw the new Black Widow trailer this morning, and I'm really excited to see Taskmaster.
Oh, that's cool. I hadn't heard that. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't. I saw it pop up in my feed, and I haven't had a chance to look at it.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I hear the new trailer's real good. People want to
It
see
is
that
good.
movie. Yeah.
Yep. I'm excited. I'm excited about that.
I like the Black Widow.
I
Except for
do
her only mistake was that one line. I don't see how this is a party. It was it.
I know. It's just such a yeah. I'm with you.
I
I don't
hate
hate it as much as you do.
I really
but,
hate it.
Uh,
It's my least favorite thing in the MCU. Like the whole thing. Like there's no moment in the entirety of the MCU that annoys me more than her saying, "I don't see how this is a party."
Now, if you were to expand that to all Marvel movies,
Yeah.
not just MCU, would you say that the line, "Do you know what happens to a toad that's struck by lightning," is worse or better than "I don't see how this is a party"?
I mean, if we're broadening it out to everything Sony or Fox or anyone else has done, then yeah, the Toad thing's worse. I'll give you that. I'll give you
All right. How about disco emo Toby Maguire
Worse.
Spider-Man 3? Worse or
Worse,
better?
totally worse. Yeah, you know what? This is a really good point to make. It is only within the MCU, which is, I
Yeah.
like a lot of so much I love. And there's just that one line. And it's all about when it happens, her face when she does it, the context in which this giant thing is coming around the corner. It's a whole bunch of
Wow,
stuff.
really? So much hate right around that scene.
I hate it.
Could we say that at least somewhere right around there is an Obey Henry poster?
Actually, that's later. That's like in the when they're zooming through the city on top of different alien craft and stuff. That's when you
Gotcha, the
see that.
Chitauri craft.
It's a little
Okay,
later,
all right.
but yeah, it's just I don't know why
What
it
is
gets
the-
under my skin.
What is the statute of limitations that we can say where exactly that Frog Fans poster can be seen?
Well, it's really hard to find and pause, but I probably could tell it now. I don't think that dude even works there anymore. I think he's somewhere else doing effects stuff.
MCU
for different
NDA not in effect.
shops. As far as I know.
MCU NDA is DOA.
Rainbow Bright is right. Scott also hates the waka waka waka. I hate that kind of joking, like that kind of like
Oh yes,
in your
right.
face, sort of like obvious. I don't know. I do it all the time with dad jokes, so I understand that it seems hypocritical for me to say this, but in my AAA $200 million budget entertainment,
You didn't pay for Fozzie Bear jokes.
no, unless it's actual Fozzie Bear, and then I'm in. Because I love.
Herman, I don't see how that's a party. Waka waka waka.
Because I love him. He's amazing.
Yeah.
But that's a different. See, again, context is everything. And it's just something about her standing there going, I don't see how that's a party. Oh, shut up. Shut up with the party. All right.
Well, a little shawarma will make you forget all about that. Hey, really quickly too, because I saw Major Spoilers was in the chat.
Yeah.
It's official. The Return to the Black
Lagoon.
Tower,
Oh.
Return to Black Tower, the Kickstarter has launched, and it is $125 to get the base level of that game.
Oh my lord, that's a lot of
Can't
money.
do it.
I don't think I can do it either. That's too much. It's too much. Too much.
Can't do it.
Yeah, maybe it'll go crazy and they can do a lower priced retail release or something. Probably not.
Maybe. Probably not.
Probably not. Wait, was it him we were talking to or Dan we were talking? Who were we talking to about that?
Oh.
Was it Dan?
You know what? I'm sorry. It was Dan that we were talking to about that. That's right. Never mind.
Well, Steven would be into this sort of thing. So,
yeah.
You remember Steven? You remember that game, right? The Dark Tower, not the Stephen King Dark Tower, but the big purple black tower thing in the middle of the board. The
thing that rotates in the middle of the game board and.
Yeah. It was very cool.
I'm sure. I bet you Steven was one of those kids who had it. They made all the other kids jealous because they'd all have to come over to Steven's house to play it.
Sounds like that Schleicher guy up the road.
Yeah.
The Schleicher kid. You're not allowed to play with that Schleicher kid.
I'm going up to the Schleicher kid's house to play Dark Tower. See ya.
Okay.
Oh, he says I had nothing. He didn't have it.
Oh, that makes me sad. I mean, you had to have something. You're such a nerd. You had to have something. You probably just had comics and stuff.
He had Lego and some Star Wars figures, and that was it.
Wow. I mean, sometimes that's enough.
Yeah.
Today we live in an embarrassment of riches. We have too many of these things. But when we were kids, we were happy to just have Chewbacca or whatever.
Yeah. So my Quest came in over the weekend. My Oculus Quest.
Oh yeah. What do you think?
Which I shouldn't have bought. I spent too much money on it, Scott. But as of now, I have I'm trying to decide if I'm going to sell the Oculus Go or just use it on the bike so that I don't, sweat in my new Oculus Quest.
Right.
It's actually not that bad, but I love it. And my favorite thing right now is, what the hell is it called? Super.
Not pistol
hot.
whip.
Super hot.
Super hot. Yeah. Super hot's amazing. Yeah.
Holy crap! I love that game.
Yeah, that's very cool. It was cool before they ported it to VR. It's even cooler now. It's perfect for VR. It's really good.
It's perfect for VR. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten Beat Saber yet, but that's that and Box VR are my next two purchases because I think you recommended Box VR for.
Yeah, if you want a good workout, Box VR will work you freaking out. Beat Saber's just a must-have, but also kind of a workout. And if you do it on difficult, it's definitely a workout. And then,
for sure.
What was I gonna say? Oh, and then that thing you're talking about, Super Hot VR. Even though it's like 4 years old now, it's like a must-get VR title. It's so good.
It is. It's so freaking good.
Yeah.
It is.
I hope there are more games like it soon. It's very good. You know what else is good is Pistol Whip. That's a cool game.
I keep seeing that. It's like John Wick, Matrix kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. And I got it for cheap. I don't remember why. Some sale. And it was, it's kind of hard, but it's very fun and very John Wicky shoot. But it's also, there's a little bit of rhythm in it, rhythm game stuff going on. The visuals are just crazy. It's really cool. That's worth playing.
Cool.
Yeah, VR is rad, and that thing, and look, untethered, room scale, it's so good. That thing's rad.
It's so good. Yeah. I did really hurt my finger because I set up room scale and then I broke through room scale to punch a guy in Super Hot.
Oh no.
And he happened to be right where this metal column, this bar is in my basement that supports keeps the ceiling from falling down. And really hurt my hand, but it didn't break the controller, so that's good, I guess.
Yeah, good. Your hand, are you bruised? You get a little purple hand going there?
No, but if I make a fist, it hurts, and if I press down on that part, it's right between the two knuckles.
Oh, knuckle crotch, finger crotch.
Finger crotch.
That's
no,
the
not in
worst.
the crotch, but between on one finger between two knuckles.
Oh, I see. Between the two knuckles on the same finger.
Right there.
Okay.
Like if I were to, I could draw it with a Sharpie on there.
I got a paper
ow.
cut. I got a paper cut in the Spock finger crotch not long ago.
Live long and yow!
Yeah, totally. Just right there. It hurt like a mother effer.
Oh,
All
sure
right.
it does.
What else? Did I tell people about the collections yet? Yes, I did.
The Twitch collection.
I did that at the top of the thing, didn't I? All right. Well, I'm not going to do
did.
it again. I'm not going to say it twice. All right, everybody. Now this.
I don't watch the news.
It is time for the news, and it's brought to you by
Brought to you by Soundography. A brand new episode went up on the feed yesterday. Hammond and I listened to the first half of the career of Dolly Parton because listening to the entirety of her collection it would just be an outrageously massive undertaking. So we listened to the first half up until pretty much about 9 to 5 or Rhinestone. Ooh, Rhinestone. Anyway, what did we think? We thought it was actually really good, especially her early stuff with Porter Wagoner, the guy that she wrote I Will Always Love You for or about. Really, really good. Soundography.com if you want to go check out the episode and listen to what we thought of Dolly Parton from a couple of guys who don't really listen to the country music. See what we thought. Soundography.com.
I like Dolly Parton for lots of reasons. And one of them is her early music is cool. There's something
really
to it.
Good.
Yeah, something to it.
And so much of her early stuff got turned into these great covers that, I Will Always Love You, Jolene, Coat of Many Colors, so much stuff. And we got so many recommendations from people to check out Dolly Parton's America, the brand new Dolly Parton podcast. She just seems like a really, really cool person.
Yeah, she seems super cool. And maybe it's her 428 pounds of hair, but her plastic surgery she's had over the years, she holds it, she wears it better than most. She doesn't look like a freaking robot like everybody else does. So there, she's pretty great.
Totally true. Yep.
North Korea, news out of North Korea, you guys.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Just in.
International news. A North Korean mom faces jail time in her country of North Korea for saving her kids from a burning house instead of a picture of Kim Jong-un II.
No way.
Yep.
Really?
Yep. And this is in the LA Times.
No, Kim Jong-il.
Oh, what'd I
That's
say?
an IL, not the second.
Oh, he's the last. Oh, is it the new
it's
dude?
IL. It's IL because it's no, Kim Jong-un is the current, is the son.
He's the fatty.
Kim Jong.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Kim Jong-il is the previous, but it looks like Kim Jong II because the capital I and an L look like two.
They're pretty much identical, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a woman from North Korea is facing possible jail term after failing to save this portrait and other photos of the Communist Party's country's past and present leaders during a house fire. It was said that the woman saved her children first, but this apparently led to her trouble. According to the Daily Mail, which is being repeated here on the Latin Times, they reported an unnamed mother is currently being investigated by the country's Ministry of State Security. Based on the details gathered, the fire broke out in her home in Onsong Country, North Hamgyong Province, North Korea, and two families are living there. The parents were not home when the fire started, but they rushed back to get their children out after hearing about the incident. The blaze destroyed one set of photos of the ruling dictator Kim's family as the parents focused on getting their kids. Now the mother's facing these charges of neglect. She may have saved her children, but since she ran out of time to save Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il's photos, she has been brought to the authorities for investigation.
How do they know she had? Does everybody have to have photos of?
I think
Kim
everyone
Jong-il
has to have them. I think there's some rule there. My
fearless
brother,
supreme leader.
My Korean brother said something about mandatory shrine-looking freaking photo business in every house.
Good Lord! I mean, she can go buy new photos, right?
I mean, yeah, but you're in it. It's it's like the definition of a dictatorship over there. Like straight up, everything is controlled by the state, and it's all the way down to, did you save people before you saved these photos? That is so freaking whacked, man. Whacked.
I had time to save my freeze-dried toads playing banjos, but I couldn't save my MAGA hat.
Yeah, exactly. According to my brother, the way it works is, I don't think you buy these. Oh, someone in the chat's saying this too. I think they give them to you. You are issued these photos. Okay. It is like your duty as a subject to the great dear leader to have this shit up all the time.
Wow, yeah, that's what Joe Guy Art says. North Korea demands that every home display paintings of its past leaders Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il and sends inspectors to ensure that they do.
Yeah, I don't want. You know what? North Korea sucks. Can I just put that out there?
Yeah.
I mean, look, I understand.
I don't know.
Different countries, different things.
Donald says that there are good guys on both sides.
Uh-huh. Yeah, they're real pals over there. Him and
Right.
him
Exactly.
and Tubby McGee. But yeah, I just got no sympathy for that regime. They can bite a big fat bullet. I hate them, and I think this sucks that anybody would be under this kind of scrutiny for saving their kids over their freaking photos. Which, as Brian put it, you can get new ones. You can't get new kids.
You know, if she were smart, she would have grabbed the kids and had the kids grab the paintings. Like, I'll hold you, you hold the paintings, let's get out of the house.
Right.
If she were smart.
Yeah, if she was smart, if she'd have thought ahead.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah.
Criminy.
F that place. All right.
Yeah.
Moving on. Amazon driver in the news.
Is he related to Adam Driver?
Yeah, no, but he's not. But he's not in near as many movies right now as Adam Driver. Adam Driver's in like 12 things right now. What's his deal?
He is. Yeah.
What's his deal? And he doesn't like to talk about it. He doesn't like doing interviews for it. He walked off the freaking. Did you hear about this? He walked off the interview with Terry Gross because he hates hearing his own voice, and she played a clip of him.
Well, that's something we have in common.
And he doesn't like that. So he just got fed up and got up and left in the middle of the interview.
I don't know what the deal is. I was watching when we stopped to watch the Golden Globes during our fast forward breeze through last week. He didn't applaud. He didn't smile. He just kind of sat there until it was time for his category, and then he paid attention, and then I don't know. It was really weird. Like,
he's odd.
He seems like for a guy who is really super into acting, he really hates his job.
Yeah, you do get that impression. I think part of it is, I know what it is, and this is how I think I would probably feel. So I kind of feel for him.
Awards and all that.
Like, you just don't like the attention. You don't like the praise. Right. You don't even like the criticism. You don't like any of it. You just sort of want to do the cool thing you're doing and then walk away from it. He never watches anything he's done ever.
Right.
He's one of those guys.
I just want to do the work.
I just want to finish the sandwich that I started. But then he wants to go home and be left alone. You know, I know this feeling. I think it's okay. I don't see it as a negative thing about his personality. I just think it's just funny that he's so good that it's impossible to ignore him.
Then don't show up to the Golden Globes. Do what, just send somebody in your place. Oh, Adam Driver couldn't be here tonight because he hates this crap, and so we'll accept this on his honor, or in his honor, whatever.
Yeah.
Did you ever see any of Girls, by the way?
No, no. I saw maybe a scene, and that scene I saw in a recap or like another talk show or something, and he was in the scene, but it may have been her visiting the Tonight Show or something, and it was a scene with Adam Driver.
Dunham or something.
Yeah. And I remember thinking, that is the weirdest, ugliest dude.
Mm-hmm.
But now what I think I was wrong. I think he is just unique. He's so unique looking, and he can command a performance. It's just the perfect combo.
Yeah. And
I also think him being a little dark and irritated and doesn't want to really be there actually adds to the mystique of that guy. I think it actually gives him that's going to drive more people to be interested in him. But yeah, and someone clarified in the chat, and this is true. I guess when he goes to these interviews, like the Terry Gross interview, he says, "I don't want to hear any clips." And usually someone will honor it. But I guess Terry Gross in the middle of this thing just played a clip and he got annoyed and left. So nice job there, Terry Gross, America's interviewer. Well done.
Have you seen the cat that looks like Adam Driver?
No. Oh my Lord. Send it over.
Let me pull it up. I'm pulling it up right now. This might be the greatest thing. Oh, come on, load for Pete's sake. Somebody in the chat room probably will have it before I do.
I've never seen this.
Image address. I'll put it in the chat room.
Is it one of those? It's not one of those naked cats, is it? One of the
no
hairless ones?
Sphinx cat. No, there you go. I put it in our Discord and I put it in.
Oh my gosh, dude! What's wrong with that cat? Is he all right?
I know, it doesn't even look like a cat. It's
Yeah, something's wrong with that cat. I'm worried about the cat now. There's something wrong with him. Anyway,
all right.
So what was my point? Oh, Amazon driver. that's
Amazon
that's
driver.
how we started.
We had one person, I can't remember who it was in the chat room, said, "What happened to the Amazon driver?"
Should probably tell that story now.
Are you new here?
First time in the chat room. Amazon driver refused to deliver wine to a 92-year-old man, or woman rather, because she didn't have ID. Nice job. He didn't want it. He had to see ID or he wasn't going to leave it. When you turn 21, you look forward to getting carded for an alcohol purchase to prove you're old enough.
Well,
But when you,
no, hold on a second. It's not about, is it about the age or is it about not being able to deliver alcohol to a house unless you can confirm that the person who's accepting it is the person it's shipped to or something?
well, so
Somebody, when we had a listener who sent me some Blade Runner 2049, not Jack Daniels, what was it? It was a whiskey,
Yeah.
Blade Runner whiskey.
yeah.
And I had to actually sign. Like, we couldn't even. Tristan was 21. He couldn't even sign for it. I had to sign for it. So
Yeah, and
Johnny
you had-
Walker, that's it.
And you had to do it at the door, right? With the
Yeah.
dude there. Well, the same thing happened here. And this lady who's 93 too, is at the door trying to take this Bristol cream sherry.
Bristol cream.
Yeah, Harvey's Bristol cream sherry and a jigsaw puzzle that came with the order.
sounds like she's in for a rockin' weekend.
Saturday night at Ibbott's house, right there.
That's right, exactly.
And he refused to do it. He made her card him, or made her produce ID, and she didn't have one. So
When
he
I was
left.
a kid, I thought Harvey's Bristol cream was something you used for shaving.
It sounds like it, right?
It does, yeah.
Or like a fancy chocolate egg they have over in Britain.
Right, yes, exactly. Oh, let's crack open the Harvey's Bristol cream.
Yeah, we do that on Christmas Eve every year. Children, gather round. Yeah, so he wouldn't do it, and she's like, well, I'm 92, and he's like, I still need your ID. So what I think this comes down to, and the legal age there is only 18, so it's even funnier. But anyway, he left without giving it to her, and I think what it came down to is this guy is just living up to the letter of the law because he wants to not lose his job. That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
I mean, sucks, but why doesn't she have an ID?
Hi, Cora. Does my colostomy bag count as ID?
Yeah. I've got a Blockbuster video card. I've got a Shoney's
I have a receipt for
frequent diner.
my black and white Zenith I bought in '74.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, she got screwed, but she still got her puzzle, so all is well.
That's good. Good. Well,
All is
thank
well.
heaven for small mercies.
It says here when the driver tried to redeliver the bottle the following day, she was ready and presented her bus pass with a photo on it. He'd rejected
go.
that also. He rejected
What?
it. Yep, I know.
Oh, that sucks.
That's valid ID. Come on.
That's photo ID.
Yeah. Lame.
So she has no Harvey's Bristol cream. You'll get no Harvey's Bristol cream, no jigsaw puzzle, and no Lieutenant Yar.
She got the puzzle, I guess. Because that
did
was
get the
just
puzzle,
just
okay.
part of the order. You know, you don't have to be a certain age for that. But
Well, great.
all right, here's the best news of the
Who
week.
wants to do a jigsaw puzzle sober?
Nobody. Nobody alive does. That's why I don't do jigsaw puzzles. Because I don't drink. If I drank, maybe I'd do one.
Tina loves jigsaw puzzles. I
Does she
joke
drink?
around with that,
Does
but
she have a little thing of wine while she does it?
No. She since the cancer,
Yeah.
she is only allowed 2 drinks a week.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yes. Yeah.
What,
so-
are they? I mean, they can't be one of those giant leg things you get in Vegas. Like toys.
No,
Okay.
like 2. So the equivalent, like 2 shots or 2 glasses of wine or 2 beers or something like that. But if you have a drink that's a double, well, that counts as your 2 drinks in 1 glass.
So it's more of an amount of alcohol, less of a
Correct.
what kind of drink or whatever.
Correct.
All right. So here's what she should do. They have this jigsaw puzzle, Brian, that is just a giant black nothing. It's just black.
Uh-huh.
And you get all the pieces. There's no images to connect. It's just the pieces. And this exists. And you have to put it on a table and figure out where all the pieces go to build a giant flat black nothing.
I love it. Yeah, basically it's just
I would
it's
die.
purely on the shape of the pieces.
Yeah, I would die. That would not work at all. That's horrendous.
The puzzle was black. It's not supposed to
It's
be
not
black.
supposed to be black. Oh, we haven't played that guy in a while. You know what?
Andy?
Yeah, I do. I'm gonna play it.
Okay.
Black. Let's just look for the word
Tomatoes.
black. It's got.
Or look for tomatoes.
Yeah, not supposed to be black. Oh, I hear that hard drive spinning up. Listen. You hear that?
Listen to that.
Yeah, you hear that? It's super annoying. I got to figure out a way to. I don't know. I think it's the USB line on that thing's just loud or something.
That feels like it's about to go. Get
yeah.
yourself an SSD. Toot sweet.
It's spinning up. I need to do some external SSD stuff, but it's so expensive. All right, I can't find it, so here's this.
Okay.
What about you?
I've got a black belt in karate.
There you go. There's the use of black. It's not the one I was looking for, but we're gonna take it. It's fine.
Totally works. Blue Ridge John found the jigsaw puzzle. Put a link to it in the chat. A photo of it.
Yeah.
Look at that thing, and
Wouldn't
it's
you
not
die?
even like a straight grid. It's grid for like half of it, and then the other half is radiating circles.
Yeah. Look at the weird bottom left corner kind of stuff going on. It's not even reliable. Like what is that down there? Oh my gosh. Who in their right
Dexter
mind
says, "Well, how's that different from just turning the puzzle over?" Well, it's true, but
Well, no.
You know?
Yeah, but the point is that. Yeah, but you don't. I understand what they're saying,
yeah,
but you could just turn this one over.
right.
You know
exactly.
what I mean?
yes.
Like, it doesn't matter what you're doing. This is insanity. Why would you do this to yourself? This is a forced thing. The
why
other way
would you do either? Why would you do this all black puzzle, or why would you flip a puzzle over and do it that way?
Yeah,
why?
it's the same exact question exactly. And yes, the middle piece is about the easiest piece on here.
Right. Well,
it's
no,
a
the corner
circle.
pieces. I mean, they could really f with you and not make not give it a straight outer edge.
Oh, that's true.
Then you're just flat out screwed.
That is true, but you don't know which edge you're ever working with, though, except maybe the two side edges. The top ones are sort of uniform, and the bottom ones.
Well, what I'm saying is, don't give it a flat outer edge. Make the outer edge have indents and holes and stubs and things like that.
Like a big cloud-looking shape or something. I get you.
Right, exactly. Yes.
I get
It's
you.
like, oh man, where's this go?
But everything in the middle here makes me want to pull my head off and eat it. It's just awful. It's awful.
Yeah.
All right. ABC, the network, the TV network.
Sure.
They told Burt Ward back in the Batman days, you know, Burt Ward, he played Robin.
Yeah.
They told him to take pills to shrink his peen.
Holy anti-Viagra, Batman.
That's right. The opposite of what you want normally. So let's see if this is true. It came from page6.com. So again, you know, take it with a grain of salt.
Sure.
For baby boomers and classic TV fans, the name Burt Ward is instantly recognizable as the loyal and extremely excitable Robin from the campy Batman series that ran on ABC from 66 to 68. Just this week, he happily unveiled a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, which he called an amazing experience. We'll enjoy spending the $10,000 a year to maintain it.
Right. Yes.
Again,
I'm sure he gets that in royalties of reruns of Batman.
Yeah.
DVD and Blu-ray sales and streaming plays and stuff like that.
You've won a podcast award. Now pay us $250 for the award.
I wouldn't call this a labor of love after this year.
Some good shade and a throwback. And if people don't know who that is, it means nothing to them. This is great.
That's right.
The Cape Crusaders costumes were bright and tightly fitted, to say the least. So snug, Ward incurred the wrath of the Catholic League of Decency. They thought that Robin had a very large bulge for television, Ward told Page 6, although he promises that it was all him, unlike Adam West, who played Batman. What does that mean?
Well, that either means he's saying that that his bulge was all him, unlike Adam West's bulge, or he's saying that bulge was all him, unlike what Adam West would tell you about Burt Ward's bulge.
Yeah. Either one's a little shady.
Yeah. This feels like Burt Ward coming up with a story to brag about the size of his penis.
To me as well. And now that Adams West is dead, I guess he can say whatever he wants. But anyway, with Adam,
I had to go into podcasting because my penis was too large for television. That's why I went into podcasting.
He says with Adam, who played Batman, they put Turkish towels in his undershorts. What's a Turkish towel? I don't know what that is.
It's not a Turkish delight, I'll tell you that much.
Towels. All right, there's an actual search for this. Turkish towels.
It's a towel that has like a bulbous tip on the end of it.
Oh yeah, they got little. They just have little tassels on them. They're like little dish towel, like light, breezy, fancy kitchen towels. That's what they are.
Turkish towels. Okay,
yeah, that's fine. Whatever. Anyway, he says,
because we couldn't find a bat sock.
It seems like such an odd thing to stick in there.
It does, yes.
The problem
what do we have? We got Turkish towels over there on the craft table. Grab them! Well,
according to this, the problem grew so bad that the studio had Ward go see a doctor who prescribed medication to shrink me up, is his quote. Thankfully, Ward quit taking the pills almost immediately. I took them for 3 days, and I decided that they can probably keep me from having children, he said. I stopped doing that and just used my cape to cover it. Despite starring in a number of one-rated shows. What? No, starring in number one rated show at the tender age of 20, Ward swears he didn't spend his evenings hitting on ardent admirers.
Getting hit on.
Or getting hit on. There was a...
He did spend all of his time hitting on.
Yeah, there's a book that says a bunch of stuff about him being a total freak on the outside with fans and stuff.
Meanwhile, at the Batcave.
Kiss! Bra strap.
Right. Do they have, instead of pow and smack, do they have shrink and
second base?
Shrivel.
I was in the pool. All right. Final story today.
All right. Okay.
Remember this when you're at your movie theater next time, okay? Because you're going to go soon, probably.
Will do. Yes. The next few days to see Little Women.
Oh yeah, the Little Women.
Little tiny women.
If they're not tiny.
Starring the new Black Widow lady.
Oh, she's in that. What's her name?
Yeah, Florence Pugh.
Right, Florence Pugh. It's a terrible name, but Florence
or Pug.
Pug. Oh yeah, I like her.
Yeah,
she's in something else I like. What is it I'm thinking of? By the way, why do Google results?
By the way, why do you make that noise when you're trying to remember something?
Why does Google results send me to the mobile version of IMDb sometimes? I don't understand that. I search for her, and then the link that they give me is a mobile version.
The m.imdb.com.
It's super stupid. All right. Oh, it's the girl from Midsommar, which I just started. I'm gonna watch that.
Oh, cool.
It's the dude what made Hereditary made that, and I want to see that.
Right. We talked about him last week with Nicole, who pronounced it Midsommar.
Midsommar. Oh, she's lovely.
Mm-hmm. She was topless, apparently, when she found out she got Oscar nominated. I did a search for Florence Pugh this morning, and apparently every news organization was fascinated with the fact that in the morning she might have not been wearing a top when they announced the Oscar nominations.
That's really a thing?
That's really a thing.
Why is that a thing?
Because
she's a woman?
Because it's exciting and titillating to media readers that, ooh.
But yeah, okay, here's one for you. Henry Cavill was shirtless playing World of Warcraft when he almost missed his callback that said he got to be Superman. See, less exciting.
That is exciting because he doesn't have breasts.
Well,
he does.
This part of our culture sucks. It really sucks.
Because boobs. Basically, they've got it right in the chat room. Because boobs.
I guess so. She's up early in the morning like everyone is in California at that time. She may have been in a certain state of undress when the news came over the wire that she had been nominated.
Josh Brolin was suntanning his taint when the news came in about his nomination.
Well, that at least would entertain me, you know?
Yes, sure.
Well, anyway.
Burning his taint.
Back to this. If you get popcorn stuck in your tooth when you go see that movie, The Little Women, it could cost you your life. It almost did this guy. A British man tried to remove a popcorn kernel that was stuck in his tooth with a pen lid. nail, and then a wire. Tried all these things.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't really the popcorn. It was the fact that he's an idiot. A toothpick might be a really good option, dude.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah.
I used the tip of a butcher's knife. I couldn't get it out.
Y'all got any nails around here?
Exactly.
I don't know why is that
You have a
voice.
saw blade like from a.
I don't know what is British. What's the British equivalent to a Southern accent? I don't even know. It's like the Northerners. It's like
Cockney.
it's like oi.
I tried removing it with a saw blade in it. No, I just slipped right into Australian. I can't do it. I can't do Cockney. I
Oi,
really
oi.
for
They
film
always
sack
say-
this last week. I
Yeah.
really had to work hard on just doing the Anthony Daniels style of British. Oh yes, I tried to remove the popcorn kernel with a saw blade.
I feel like you're doing
Also
play-by-play in a
narrating
golf game or
nature
something.
documentary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a golf game. The female has approached the male. They're now
Look
mating.
at the lovely plumage on the.
The male bird dances ridiculously in front of the female. Oh man, he's gonna die any day, and I'm sad. I love him.
I need you know what? I need Zoe Brings Bacon to do a little coaching with me in Vegas on my southern or my British accents to not let them go into Australia. Maybe I
Zoe-
just need to watch more Peaky Blinders. Just
Yeah,
watch.
no, that's
Peaky
the way
Blinders
to
again.
do it. Is Zoe coming to the thing?
Yes, she is.
That's great. That's good to
Indeed,
hear.
she is.
Very excited. I always like seeing Zoe.
Bring
She's
bring
awesome.
a tin of biscuits, please. A tin of biscuits.
Bacon flavored biscuits, if you will. So here's what he did. In a Facebook post earlier this month, Helen Martin from Truro, UK, described her husband Adam's harrowing ordeal that ended with him getting a new heart valve. Oh my lord!
Wow. All right.
Jeez Louise. Adam's infective endocarditis, carditis.
Carditis.
Carditis. Okay, a bacterial infection in the heart and lungs was caused by a small gum infection from getting a little bit of popcorn husk stuck in his gums. He left unchecked. If left unchecked, the infection, normally treated by antibiotics, can eat away at heart valves and cardiac muscles. Martin's husband also described him as reasonably fit and a healthy builder and a full-time firefighter. They told Cornwall Live. They finally did get medical help, and if they'd have waited an extra few days, he'd probably been dead. So there's that.
Huh. So it really was the popcorn husk stuff. Jeez. All right. It wasn't the implements that he was using to remove said.
Yeah, they
popcorn
don't.
husk.
What's weird is they do say this in the opening line. He tried to remove the popcorn kernel with a pen lid, nail, and wire, leading to a serious infection that required heart surgery. Mm-hmm. So what that tells me is maybe that other stuff didn't help or could have caused a greater infection.
Poorly written ctvnews.ca.
Right. Also, how do you put a whole kernel? How do you jam a whole kernel in your gum there?
I don't think it's the kernel. It was the husk. It's that really tough bit of shell that's around an unpopped kernel.
Gotcha. That's when Colonel Sanders was a virgin in high school.
He was an unpopped kernel.
They called
yes.
him unpopped kernel.
I feel like there's an illustration in there. You just need to draw this dorky Colonel Sanders holding like a notebook with like a pencil pocket protector,
Yeah.
and just the punchline underneath it is unpopped kernel.
There you go.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we've got something.
Maybe I
there.
draw it.
Maybe
Maybe
you
I
should
do it.
Maybe Brian should. It's all in his head. He can do it.
It's all in my head.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, Bill and jury, all that stuff. So Tuesday is what we're at. And so we're going to do that in a minute. But we're going to play a song first. What do you have for the middle of the show?
I've got a band called the Undercover Dream Lovers. You think that these guys would do some covers, right? The Undercover Dream Lovers.
Yeah.
They came from Pittsburgh. Excuse me, got a little bit of popcorn kernel stuck in my throat there. Now they're based in L.A. He's lead guy, Matt Koenig, has never signed with any label. He's always stayed independent, and they've supported the band Parcels, Hers, Star FKR, I'm not going to say that whole thing, and L'Impétrice, and they even played the 2019 Tropicalia Festival. Talk about some fun, jangly power pop. These guys are influenced by Tame Impala, the Beatles, Parcels, Led Zeppelin, The Doors, Daft Punk. But he sees his band more as like a bridge between all of those different acts. The brand new album is called It's All in Your Head. It doesn't come out till the end of February 28th, the penultimate day of February. Here are the Undercover Dream Lovers and the song A Way Out.
They're all nice guns, and all guns are nice.
I know who you are. You're the guy in the hole.
I can't believe you made me say that. This is the Morning Stream.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the program as we venture forth into the next phase of things, which involves our good buddy over at punishprops.com, Mr. Bill Duran. We'll add him to the call and get him in here. Excuse me. Oh, this cat that looks like him. That is just freaking weird. Still just can't get my head around that. Anyway, whatever. Adam Driver, he should own that cat. That's how it should be. He should own that cat.
That would be great if that was his cat, right?
Yeah.
Like people who look like their pets, you can just do that.
We're doing this wrong. They need to make that happen. All right, check this out, everyone.
Your bat cave's open there, Bill.
Oh, another thing from Hank Hill. Hello, Bill Duran. How you feeling this week?
Oh, I'm feeling a lot better.
Oh,
a
good.
little under the weather last week.
Yeah, you got hit with the thing everyone I know gets sick this time of year, and I haven't gotten sick yet, and I feel like a ticking time bomb, and I don't like it. I don't like that feeling.
Yeah.
It's the floor mat virus, the resin, carved resin virus.
You get the
I feel
resin
like I should
lung.
be immune to that by now.
Shouldn't you?
think
Wouldn't
so.
you guys that have like makers should have like resin lung or some kind of cool like old timey sounding
Something
disease?
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do everything I can to make sure I don't get resin lung.
Oh, good. Or
So that was a great Jethro Tull song, by the way.
yeah. What's wrong with Grandpa? I got the epoxy. They could call it the epoxy. Or the foam. I got Foamer's disease. I don't know what it could be. Anyway, well, Bill, it's good to have you here. I'm glad you're well-ish and can be on the show today. He is the purveyor of all things Punish Props at punishprops.com, a fantastic source for video-based content, building things, making things, and we're going to see what you're making now. What are you making?
Well, since I was sick last week, didn't do a ton of making. However, I do have a fun thing to go over. I bet that over the holidays that we just went through, that a lot of people got 3D printers. Yeah, especially those fancy new resin ones.
All right, the SLAs. Boom.
Yeah, they're coming down in price like crazy. You can get one for like less than $500 now.
Oh,
I don't know.
Wow.
They're awesome. And I figured people would want some good recommendations on things to print for the first time.
Are you? How do you feel about the like the resin that you need to get for it? How's that price wise compared to like buying plastic and stuff for the other ones?
So the I don't have a lot of examples. I've only used the form printer, and the resin. The cheapest I got it for was like $80 a liter.
Oh wow.
Yeah, which is a lot cheaper than the form brand ones, but still quite a bit more than filament.
Yeah, the Elegoo stuff that I get is about $20 for a I guess that would be a liter, right? 500 milliliter bottles would equal a liter, right?
Oh yeah.
So the Elegoo stuff is a lot cheaper, but
Wow,
I don't know
that's amazing.
quality wise how it compares.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the price basically is squashing on those compared to FDM, which is fantastic. I will say, especially with those little printers, if it's a new machine, you're just getting used to it, start by printing a couple of small things first. I wouldn't launch into a full set of armor or anything right away. Maybe get used to the printer first.
Well, plus you can't really create anything that's much bigger than that until you get a bigger form factor. Yeah.
Or a lot of pieces and you glue them all together. Like I wouldn't print a Reinhardt costume on your little Elegoo. That might be a bit. But anyway, here's some really fun ideas for things you could go to print. You got your standard stuff like your standard files like your Benchy, the Rocktopus, Baby Groot. Of course, everyone's printing Baby Yoda. Those are great. But if you want more prop type things, there's a lot of stuff out there, including some stuff over at punishprops.com. We have a free blueprints section there where you can get patterns and patterns for like foam helmets and whatnot. But we have some 3D files there. We've started adding more to that library of free things for people to go get. So I have the Iron Man arc reactor from Endgame and all of that, which, by the way, is a really fantastic thing to print on your little resin printer.
Yeah, good size, really good size for that.
Yeah, and I modeled it, so I put a lot of detail into the face of it, where all the nano tech, whatever Iron Man stuff is.
Right.
Yeah. So if you want to
proof, by the way, that Tony Stark has a heart.
Oh, not that one, no. And I am pushing up my glasses. Technically, it is not an arc reactor. It is an nanite containment unit. No one needs to tell me. I've already gotten all the comments. Thank you very much.
Oh, no.
Wow.
It's fine.
Yeah.
But anyway, if you want to show off what your resin printer can do, go ahead and print that.
Okay.
I also have my lightsabers over there that we just recently did. And then if you want to make something a little bit bigger, I have Rose Quartz Sword from Steven Universe that you could download. Again, those are all free over at punishprops.com if you want to give it a look and grab something just to play with your new print.
Has resin impressed you to the point that you kind of don't care about other printer types, or do they still have their place? Like like an APL, spool of plastic wire. Is that still going to does that still have a home for when you've got to build a thing?
I sure hope so, because I have a lot of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the big difference is going to be, number one, the size, and then the detail.
Yeah.
And what you're going to do with it.
And also the durability of the final print, too.
Right. Yes.
Most of now they do have a lot more resins you can use, but the stuff I'm using right now, unless it's fairly small, I wouldn't use it as a final product. I would mold and cast it. It's quite brittle. I tried I had a print off of the form with one of their early resins, and I was trying to drill a hole in it, and it shattered. It just exploded.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Yeah.
This is a little Baby Yoda I did on the resin
awesome.
printer.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
So yeah, there's still a place
really
for
good.
FDM. The main thing is that FDM is so much quicker. But we'll see. Who knows what the next 5 years hold?
It does. You know what it feels like? It feels like we're right in the middle of this, in the early 90s when laser printers started to come down in price.
Yeah.
And then somebody says, hey, inkjet printer's a viable middle ground. Let's do inkjet. And then that was kind of crappy in some ways, but great in other ways. Cheaper to maintain, less expensive for the printer. And then color printers came along, and that iteration I feel like I'm having deja vu, because it feels like that's all happening again. Obviously a very different result or purpose to the printer, but just watching everybody kind of go through these steps of what's better, getting better with better materials. I think eventually we're going to start you'll be able to go to Office Max and buy a 3D printer, take it home, and you're good.
I bought a printer at Home Depot.
Yeah,
they were selling the Dremel printer. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, that's cool. That's awesome.
So now also, if you go out on websites like Thingiverse or My Mini Factory or a bunch of other ones now, they collect 3D files that people either sell or give out for free. Thingiverse is a great example. However, if you're going to start pawing around on those websites, couple of things to look out for. Many times when you go search for everything, let's say I want to make an Iron Man helmet, right? I go to Thingiverse, look up Iron Man helmet. There are many results. And they do a pretty good job of curating them. But what I look for is a thing that has a lot of activity. So here's an Iron Man helmet. It says it's wearable in the title. That's a good sign. Think about this. You might download a file that you're planning on putting on your head, but they didn't model it in a way that you can actually put it on. So it's something you want to look out for.
Okay.
Look for things that have a lot of comments and activity. People giving feedback is really great, because then it shows that people have actually printed this thing. It's also worth looking out for they'll show pictures of the 3D model, but look and see if they have a model or a picture of the actual printed thing. Like, frequently people will 3D model a thing, put it on Thingiverse, and never actually print it themselves. So they don't even know if it's possible to print it.
It's a real jerk move.
Yeah, it happens. So anyway, it's just some things to look out for. Mostly just look for files that people have a lot of, other people have printed a lot.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. There's reviews and ratings and other stuff, right?
Yeah.
Watch for that stuff.
And then, of course, there are people out there who will sell 3D files. That's how I did. Let me think here. The Apex Legends dagger. There's a dagger from that game I wanted to print, and an artist that I follow had it on his Etsy, and I bought it for like $10. The file. Then I printed it myself. And similarly, I have the files for my version of the Blade Runner blaster for sale on my website. Which, by the way, another great set of files to print if you want to check out that resin printer. A handful of people have printed them in resin, and that blaster looks so good.
Oh, wow.
That sounds really good. Yeah.
So the pieces are small enough that will work on there.
Yeah, and they're very detailed. Yeah.
Everyone should make their own blaster. That's my that's my 2020 belief. Make
It's
your
like
own
getting
blaster.
your kyber crystal and creating your own lightsaber. You should make your own blaster.
Yeah, they should have that at the Star Wars thing in Disneyland. They got the saber thing, and that's cool. Why don't you have a little smuggler hall where everybody goes in there and just like assembles their own damn blaster? Then you get my 250. Then I'm into it.
There you go.
Yeah, or whatever it costs. What do those lightsabers cost? They're like $300, aren't they, or something?
They're
expensive.
yeah,
somewhere around there. Yeah.
But it's cool because they like put them in that forge thing and it lights up.
I would absolutely do it.
Of course you would.
I have $200 in my pocket, right, and sewn into the lining of my underwear, ready to get a lightsaber when I.
People on the streets of Seattle, watch for a nondescript male beard.
And yes, my underwear is lined.
Wow, fancy boy. All
Thanks
right.
for asking.
Well, that's fantastic. Cool. Well, any bonus content from you today? Anything
Absolutely. We got the Baby Yoda vibe going on. My friend Grace over at Zombies Workshop made a Baby Yoda, and it's adorable.
Let's take a look.
It is really adorable. Look at that thing.
Yeah.
A lot of other folks I know are actually making these. Grace made hers kind of like a doll, but I've seen people sculpting and molding and casting theirs out of silicone rubber, so it feels like skin.
Oh,
It's
cool.
bonkers.
That is awesome.
Yeah. If you look on Instagram, if you look on YouTube, you'll see a lot of people making these. And not just 3D printing a file that someone else made, which is cool, but a lot of people making their own and sculpting them from scratch, which is super neat.
That's so cool. This should be a puppet.
Yeah.
Yeah. She should have a place to put her arm up and make the head move around and stuff. This is really cool.
And he doesn't have to talk, and he just has to hold his hand up.
That's pretty rad.
Very easy to animate. I'm sure that's how they did it on the show.
I thought I was worried that when the Mandalorian season ending that there would be a slowdown on Baby Yoda tributes content stuff. It's not happening. People are really into it.
Ahead.
Yeah, I even did a little print the other day, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna make 50 of these and just put them up for cheap, and just to see how quick they go. They were gone in 8 minutes, just like bam, 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 bam. Like, whoa, hold on a minute. I guess Baby Yoda matters.
Still matters. Yeah, we haven't moved on to Babu Frick yet.
Nope.
I'm waiting for the Babu Frick train.
I don't know. That train may never come in. He wasn't.
I don't know.
He wasn't in it enough.
I'm only barely on the Baby Yoda train.
Yeah. Just hanging off the back. You could fall off at any moment. So
yeah.
Be careful. Bill Duran, of course, punishprops.com, Chinbeard on Twitter. Fantastic content. Go check it out. Check out his YouTube channel. They haven't shut him down, so you can go check that out.
Not yet.
Good stuff. It's Bill Duran, everybody. Take it easy, dude, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Yeah, he sounds much better than what I heard. Last week he sounded like something that jumped down his throat and set up camp. It was bad.
Yeah.
Much better now.
Yes.
All right, Justin Robert Young incoming. I don't actually know where he is. They got some San Francisco thing coming up. So I don't know.
Really? Oh, right, because they moved Night Attack this week to Wednesday because of the travel. Oh, he's home.
Oh no, he's home.
Right there in the
I
studio.
don't know what's happening. Hey, Jury, are you going? Well, here, wait. Let me play your thing.
The jury will now retire.
Wrong one.
These are their stories.
Oh, I'm terrible with names.
Join me in welcoming Justin Robert Young to the program. Justin, hello.
Hello, friends.
Hi, nice to see you.
Hello.
Aren't you performing something something's going on in San Francisco, and I was thinking it was today, but I guess not.
No.
When is it?
That would be Night Attack Live at the San Francisco Sketch Fest next Wednesday.
All right, so it's
January
next week.
22nd. Get your tickets at sfsketchfest.com. Search for Night Attack.
And you guys somehow got Veronica Belmont out of podcast freaking hibernation
Retirement.
to do something. I'm blown away by that. That's fantastic. Nice
I
job.
hit her up and I'm like, hey, you want to do this show? But I mean, mostly because when you perform at Sketchfest, you get a badge, and Sketchfest lasts for like a month. And when you have a badge, you can get into any show that's not sold out.
Oh, that's cool. And she lives right there, so it's
And she lives in SF, so it's like that's I think how I coaxed her. She said, "Why I'm boring," and I said, "No, you're not. Everybody loves you. Shut up."
Yeah, she does say that a lot, and it's true. Everyone does love her. Okay, well, good. I'm really happy to hear that. So let's get into it today. Normally, when Justin comes on, we maybe talk a little politics, see what's going on in the race toward the 2020 election, this sort of stuff. But I want to go a little two-pronged today. First of all, the Oscars.
Yeah.
You're a film guy. You like movies. How do you feel about all this? Anything in there jump at you and go, man, that was a shock, or wow, I can't believe that got snubbed, or
What's your hot take?
Or do you?
Yeah, I think this is the Tarantino year.
Oh.
I think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood just crushes, and I think that this would be his first Best Picture. Just because he is an elder statesman, the likes of which has never been recognized with a Best Picture.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, he should have got one in '94 for Pulp Fiction, but he didn't, and that was his second big movie. But this one has a secret weapon, which is it's all about Hollywood. And Hollywood, boy, do they love voting for movies that are about Hollywood.
Brian was
more
saying
than
this
that, it's
yesterday.
about old Hollywood.
All right.
And a lot of old people vote. A lot of old people like to romanticize old Hollywood. And Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is literally a fairy tale. It is a fairy tale about old Hollywood.
Interesting. So that'll be good. Why? For some reason, I guess he's only won for director before, and that was for.
He's won for director a
Django
couple
Unchained.
times, and I think he's won for writer. But I don't think he's ever won for Best Picture, and I think this is gonna be the moment. The big snub. I didn't see The Farewell. I know people were upset about Awkwafina. I thought J-Lo was gonna get a nomination for Hustlers, just because that was like a movie star performance. Like, it's just, there's like some roles where there's just like movie stars. Like, and I don't know what to say, like whether it's just like they're just enough of who we think they are off screen, but they just, when they walk on the into the frame, you're just like, all eyes are on them. And J-Lo, between it being a movie about strippers and looking insane for being 50 years old, there was just a charisma to her in that movie that I thought would have given her a nomination and to kind of recognize her, but that didn't happen. The big surprise I thought was Adam Sandler. I just saw Uncut Gems this weekend, and I thought that was kind of a lock, because it's a movie that doesn't focus on anybody else. In fact, I don't know if there's more than 2 scenes that he's not in. It is solely revolving around him, and the character work is great. So I was a little surprised about that. It's a bit of an off-kilter movie, but I thought they would reward him. But they didn't. The Oscars are weird.
They are.
They
weird.
just don't like stars, and they don't like money. Like, it's so weird, considering it used to be this, like, the movie business was burgeoning so much that you could reward these, like, the Oscars should reward The English Patient because more people should see it.
Right.
Right. And now it's like nobody goes to see the movies. Like, the only people that go to see the movies are people that read film blogs and Marvel fans. And like, they don't, even the happy mediums. Again, oh, Adam Sandler did a great character movie. Who cares?
Yeah.
Like J-Lo had turned in a great performance. Whatever. Let's give it to the guy who did the two popes.
Yeah,
which I didn't see the one Pope, so I don't know if I'll be caught up on the sequel.
Yeah, there's so much character development in the first one that you're gonna be lost when the two popes comes around.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it even worth watching the first Pope, or the one Pope, if I've seen the two popes? I feel like I've spoiled everything.
And like, I guess maybe their capitulation was, fine, we'll start nominating Netflix movies. Because Netflix really went hard with The Irishman and Marriage Story. You know, it's Noah Baumbach and Martin Scorsese. These are like Oscar bait directors. They did good movies that were released primarily on the streaming platform. So maybe they were like you're already eating our soul by rewarding the streaming platforms. Like, if we dare give The Waterboy an Oscar nomination, surely we'll perish.
Right.
Yeah, no, you're right. That whole interaction though between Kathy Bates and him on Twitter was pretty good. I don't know if you witnessed any of that.
I didn't hear about
what happened.
So Kathy Bates is up for something, right? Or
she's the bomb in Richard Jewell.
All right. Oh, that's right. She's the bomb in Richard Jewell. Anyway, she was all upset that he didn't get that Adam Sandler didn't get nominated because she thinks he was amazing in Uncut Gems. And if you guys remember in Waterboy, she was the mom in the swamp or whatever. And they just had this lovely little thing, like a little fake mom, fake son sort of interaction on Twitter. I can't remember the exact words, but it was nice. It was a nice little thing. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I guess Adam Sandler will have to console himself by diving into his money pit.
Right.
You know, I guess on some level, Scrooge McDuck-like, he'll be backstroking through the multi-billions of dollars. I guess I'll just have to go back
to making crap movies.
Uh-huh.
Well, I mean, like, God bless him. Like, he literally just does whatever the hell he wants. Netflix realizes that he is no matter how unpopular with the writing class, he is the center of whatever Venn diagram that they have. So, you know, he just keeps getting paid $1 jillion to do movies, all of which take place in foreign locales. So we just tax a month of vacation on the front end, 2 months of vacation on the back end, call Jennifer Aniston, bada bing bang boom, we're good to go. That's that's spring.
Yeah, that's a little bit of that going on. So here's the thing though. Do you think, so it brings us to the larger esoteric societal-wide question. Do we overvalue these dumb awards? I think we do. Because who really gives a poop? Because every year it's going to be like this. Every year it's this. One person complains that so-and-so didn't even get nominated. Somebody else complains that there weren't enough women. Some others complain that, hey, there were too many women this year and they're pandering. Or, hey, there's not enough black people. Or there are too many black people. Or this thing got snubbed because the director is not liked. Like, all this stuff just bubbles up around it. And the only place I like to even deal with it is here on the show, because I like how Brian gamifies the awards, so it's fun to sort of bounce off what he does with them, and all the movies he sees leading up to it, he catches up way more than I do, and so I enjoy that aspect of it. So I'm kind of like enjoying a fringe part of why the Oscars matter to people, but sometimes I just think the value is so overrated. It's like, what are we doing here? Like, what, does this really matter?
I don't disagree with that. I do think that they are not the end all be all. But I like arguing about them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, it's fun to... What else are we going to argue
I like
about?
that, too. Yeah. So, yeah, exactly.
Like, I think for us, people in the content business, it's a gift. Are you kidding?
Right.
Like, it's great. What else are we going to talk about today?
I think it would be funny if they adopted the podcast awards model of you only get your statue if you pay us $300 for it, and we'll ship it to you after you win. What do you think of that?
Yeah, and they should slowly announce all the award names from a 2-bedroom condo in Hawaii.
Yeah, and skip ahead on the winning slides by accident.
I just want to say again, do you know how... No, I shouldn't. All right. I promised myself I wouldn't be mean about that anymore.
Oh, all right. It's been a few years, so, you know.
I was recently in a place where he was, and, like, I just know at some point I'm going to run into him, and knowing our crowd, they're gonna get back to him. Anything that I say, especially now that Twitch can clip things so easily.
Oh, sure.
I won't be mean. All I'll say is this: Hawaii's supposed to be relaxing, and I hope he lives a fulfilling life.
There you go.
Yeah.
He may not see it as a labor of love after this year. All right. Moving on. Okay, so what's his name's out? Booker's out. No more Booker. He's not running for
No
president
more Booker.
anymore.
Close the Booker.
Yeah, put the Booker to sleep. Or no, just close the Booker. That's fine. You said it the way it should have been said. So he's done. And then all I've heard about, though, lately is that Bernie and Warren people just want to murder each other. So why is that?
Yep.
What's going on there?
It's a fight.
Yeah.
So this has been brewing for a while. In fact, it was something that I foresaw. I made a proclamation that there was a coming war between Bernie and Warren months ago on the PX3 podcast. So, again, a reminder, if you want to steal my takes and pass them off as your own and seem smart to all your friends, family, and coworkers, then please listen to the PX3 podcast and liberally rip off my takes. Here's the issue. They both are battling for progressives. Right now, you effectively have a logjam of 4 candidates in Iowa. And there was always going to be a battle for these voters. The things flared up this time because it was discovered. Now, I add that incredulous pause so you can understand how skeptical I am on how surprising this discovery was.
Sure.
That the Bernie Sanders campaign, I'm going to be as fair as possible as I can here in the attribution here. The Bernie Sanders campaign, at some point in their apparatus, had a memo of messaging about the opposing candidate. And in the messaging about Warren, it said 2 things. Number 1, she is the candidate of elite voters, and that she would not bring anybody new to the Democratic coalition, because the people that are going to vote for Warren are not going to vote for Trump. They're going to vote for anybody.
Yeah.
So you're not adding anybody else to the Democratic coalition. Elizabeth Warren pushed back on that and said it's disappointing that Bernie Sanders would be circulating this stuff and raised money on it.
Right.
That was published. That initial report was published on CNN. The next day, also on CNN, there was another report. One that said that during a 2018 meeting between Warren and Bernie, that Bernie Sanders told Elizabeth Warren that a woman couldn't win the presidency in 2020.
Wow.
And this was at the event where she announced her running her entry into the field.
This was prior to that. There was a fairly famous meeting of them kind of agreeing that they would not attack each other because they wanted to protect the progressive cause.
Gotcha.
Hilariously, it has now turned into the meeting where Bernie Sanders allegedly told Elizabeth Warren, according to, and I quote, two people for whom talked to Elizabeth Warren as she came out of the meeting, and 2 others who are familiar with the meeting, which is a very mushy sourcing. But it was obviously leaked by the Warren campaign. Warren immediately legitimized the report by saying, I don't want to talk about it. However, we had a discussion. I thought a woman could win. Bernie disagreed. So she legitimized it while she was moonwalking away from it, which is hilarious. Look, fairly plainly, this is Warren beginning her final maneuvers for Iowa. She wants to distance herself from Bernie. She wants to give herself justification as to why she has slowly sort of backed away from some of the progressive causes, specifically Medicare for All, which she bafflingly, in my mind, said that she was now going to implement in the midterm of her first term, which is a very strategically puzzling place to launch a major issue. If I were, of the Alex Jones, if I were of the Alex Jones persuasion, I would say that this is very clearly a psyops campaign designed to infuriate the Bernie supporters and get them to say awful gendered things on Twitter. So Elizabeth Warren can come out and say, they're at it again, these Bernie bros. First it was Hillary, now it's me. Hey man, woman haters club. That's all these Bernie folks are.
Major boner.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. The one thing I would say, though, this infighting, and chat room's been talking about this a little bit, doesn't seem like it's very good for the Democrats to have infighting. But then I'm reminded that don't all lead-ups to primaries have infighting in the party they're in? I mean, the one with Trump
I think that there's, look.
was a mess. Those guys were cats and dogs at those Republican things.
Yeah, no, fight. I think it is, to me, a mistake to limit the violence in a primary. Like, and for everybody who says, but they're Republican talking points. Stop giving the Republicans things to talk about. I mean, with this candidate, we're worried that he's going to lack creativity of criticisms of his nominee. I don't think that we're going to that anybody is going to invent something that Donald Trump won't run with or wouldn't run with himself.
Yeah, he's
right?
not on the TV. He's not sitting there watching TV with a notepad going, "Ooh, this is good stuff." Like he's all ready to just say whatever horrible thing he wants. And so, he'll do it on the fly. But like that is a thing they should not worry about. Like,
and by the way, I would want my candidate, if I were a Democratic stalwart, I would want my candidate ready for these things. Yeah. I would want my candidate to have already defeated somebody who launched at me with issues like that. I would want them to be prepared for it. You know, I don't think that it benefits any candidacy to walk into the general election and then be hit with something that they've never heard before or they've never been pressed on.
Right.
If I were running one of the rival campaigns to Joe Biden, I'd be bringing up Hunter Biden. I'd be saying that he's a problem for the campaign because guess what? Donald Trump's going to do it. I'd be bringing up the Pocahontas stuff. Guess what? Because Donald Trump's going to do it. And I would rather Elizabeth Warren or Joe Biden have survived an attack and understand what it is, burn out general election voters from the issue by actually talking about it and not leaving there be a lingering question of, I wonder if it's true by the time that we get closer and closer to when the actual voting day is in November. I mean, that's just me. I think to me, it's a problem that we have with our pattern recognizing brains, that we believe that there's a virtue to all the people grasping hands and saying kumbaya, that makes interparty divisions go away when, you know, and especially the more I peer into history, that's not the case. The more you try to pretend that everybody's on the same page without working through some of these issues, the more you realize that there will just be people who will quietly walk away and not vote.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. So what do you think are the chances? This is hard to answer. But if you don't play Trump's game in these debates, whoever the final candidate on the Democratic side is, if you don't play Trump's games, it feels like he's just going to walk all over people. So is there can you see a reality where whoever it is, Biden, Bernie, whoever gets there, Warren, whoever, is there any chance that they start doing tactics like he uses? Would they use name calling? Can you see them saying things like, well, what's a good word? Cheating Donald over there with his paid off porn actress. Like, could they go the way he does? Because he does this all the time. Could they go to the throat in that way? Or do you see a reality where that actually freaking happens?
You mean Dangerous Donald? Remember Dangerous Donald?
Yeah, Dangerous Donald. It's too boring, though. It's a boring one.
Right.
And he's Donald
Duck, because he was ducking his tax returns.
Oh, yeah. Clever.
Yeah.
Right?
They have to go more hardcore. They have to say things like, you know, penis out of his pants, Donald, or something dumb like that. They have to really like push push the envelope on this, or else he is going to and walk all over them. He's going to destroy them in that.
Oh, how about
way.
Don the Con Don?
Sure.
That was Bill de Blasio's.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Con man.
No,
Don.
they're not as good at it as he is.
No, they're
He's
not.
much better at it.
Well, his
Like,
are shitty too.
he-
Let's be honest. His are bad. Like I'm not going to give him any credit
They're
for
bad,
his
but
stupid
they're
nicknames.
memorable is the problem. They're,
Well, when he says things like, what is he?
Joe and
Crazy Bernie Sanders is boring.
Right.
That's dumb.
Right.
But
right.
it's because
Crooked
of
Hillary.
It's
We know them
because
all,
of-
though. We remember them all.
But it's because he's saying it, and it's because of the way he carries himself, and it's because he's in dick mode 100% of the day. So that's
look,
a difference. And these
don't
other
get me
people
wrong.
aren't.
I'm not defending him. I'm just saying that's why.
Oh, I know.
No. But Scott, you can't let the fact that you hate him blind.
No, that's what I'm
you
saying.
from the reality of the
No.
battlefield. He's good at it.
No, that's
He's
what I'm
good
saying.
At branding.
No, that's what I'm saying.
That literally was his job. His job was branding.
That's exactly
his
what I'm
job
saying.
Was making sure that the Trump name stayed in the news, and that his enemies were belittled. And more specifically, that the fights were memorable.
Right. That's exactly what I'm saying. But to the point, that is exactly what I'm saying. And if anyone else isn't willing to do that, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for him. Is all I'm saying.
No, I don't know if you should play his game, because his game he will always be better at. The problem I think with the Democrats has been, if you were to have just treated him like a president and not an existential threat who needed to be ejected immediately, there's plenty of stuff that you could have scored political points on. The problem is that none of it looks particularly interesting when you measure it next to the president being a foreign asset, or the president paying off Stormy Daniels, or what shape the president's penis is. Like, all this stuff that we focused on is kind of cotton candy next to, like, stocked up soybeans, right? How many farmers have been hurt? How many factories haven't been reopened? How many promises haven't been kept? How much he hasn't even fulfilled his promise on the southern border, right? Like how little he's been able to do, how little he's been able to work through Congress, how much he's tried to reach out to Pelosi and Schumer and failed, right? There are a lot of things that you could have punished him for that are now kind of past, because we've spent so much time on the big swings. Like Democrats have taken home run swings from inauguration on. The problem with that is that it's high risk, high reward, and so far you've seen the risk part of it far more than you've seen the reward. In terms of 2020, you don't win elections by tearing down your opponent. You win your election by being something that your opponent isn't. By being the better thing that people can believe in. And to me, it shows, to focus on the fact that Donald Trump was good at yelling at Hillary Clinton and highlighting Hillary Clinton's faults is one vector of it. The difference was Make America Great Again, Build a Wall was more concrete than Love Trump's Hate. Like, Love Trump's Hate doesn't mean anything. It's yes, I agree. What happens when you get into office? We don't know. Build a wall. Oh, okay. Well, he's got to build a wall. He thinks that that there is a problem with immigration, and so he's going to try and stop it. Like, agree or disagree with that. That's knowable. It's not mushy. And so I think anybody who runs is going to have, this is a personal theory of mine, that I think that we are in a political age where we don't want to elect somebody that we like, that we think might do nothing. We want to elect a useful tool for ideas that we like. And that's why we saw Trump. It's why we see Bernie. It's why, to a certain extent, we see Warren. Because they are proposing bold ideas that nobody had, that we, in Bernie's case, voters believe, by way of his deeds and history, he will carry out. He is the best person to try and carry out these very bold, structurally reformative strategies,
right?
And to a lesser extent, Warren on that tip,
right? So let's say, so really what you're saying, this is what it boils down to. If the wall was the big idea, or let's just say one of the big ideas, but one of the key ideas that got him elected, because that was a tangible thing that his supporters could get behind, and it was, practical and whatever. Then the trick for Bernie is you need to have an idea that resonates with people as much or more to cull enough votes to get people interested, like, I don't know, free healthcare or whatever it is, whatever his idea is.
Medicare for all.
Right.
Green New Deal.
So really, this just comes down to, because the idea. Well, yeah. What you're saying makes a lot of sense to me. And what's funny is I look at everybody across the board and I think, all right, well, who in this big group of whittling down Democrats actually could be the tool people are looking for, like the one that you may not love, but once they get in there, they'll actually do the thing they said they were going to do. It probably is Bernie. Like, of all the people, because that guy's just on fire all the time. Just always just going, let's do it, blah, blah, blah. Like, I have a feeling he'll just barrel in there and just be there's a coin, right? And on one side of the coin is Donald Trump's face, and on the other side of that coin is Bernie Sanders' face. And
they are certainly both populists. Bernie has been from months and months and months ago my pick. Almost a year ago now, my pick to win the nomination. And I'm interested in that campaign because I think that it will be a very unique one in our lifetime, because it will kind of be the first time in a while where everybody's kind of sure that everybody means it, right? Like, Donald Trump's going to call him a socialist and Bernie's going to say, yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's just going to be an answer. Like, mm-hmm. This will be a referendum, a national referendum on whether or not we want to bring socialized reforms, European-style socialized reforms to America.
Mm.
The great bastion that seemed to be resistant to it. So I think that's a very interesting question. And obviously there's a thirst for it on the left. Donald Trump has been road testing America will never be a socialist country since, I think, 2 State of the Unions ago, or maybe it was the last State of the Union. So I think it would be very, very interesting. But I do think that that's part of it. Now, the other side is, and going back to the Elizabeth Warren-Bernie rift, can Bernie survive all of this of it, right? All of the, yeah, but you're a misogynist and you're supported by misogynists. And a lot of these progressive ideals are being pushed by unsavory people, by a radical faction of the left. Do you distance yourself from this radical element that is debasing our party and our politics? That is a question.
Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna get real interesting as we get closer. Who do you think's next to fall out? I think it's we're gonna lose Yang officially.
I think he's gonna stick through Iowa. He's got a lot of money.
Yeah.
And really, the kiss of death isn't missing one debate; it's missing 2 debates. Although I will give credit to Yang. Yang's another one who's running on an idea.
Yeah.
Yang is running on universal basic income. And he is pitching that he is the guy to do it because nobody else who is a politician would think of it. And so this is why he is a disruptor to do that. Who's next to drop out? I would be tempted to say Bennett, maybe. I don't know if we'll get anybody before Iowa.
Is Klobuchar still in there? Klobuchar?
Klobuchar is going to be on stage. She made the debate. Tom Steyer made the debate. They will be flanking the stage almost certainly.
Yeah.
While the top 4, the ones who are kind of log jammed in Iowa, Buttigieg, Warren, Sanders, and Biden will be center stage.
Mm-hmm.
However,
what happened to the butterfly lady? She's out, right? She's not in it
She's
anymore.
gone.
Marianne
Williamson is gone. Dark psychic energy, unfortunately, remains undefeated. But this might be the last time that we see Klobuchar, Warren, and Sanders in campaign mode for a little bit, because it seems as if on a week from today, opening arguments begin in the impeachment trial, which, depending on how long that goes, that may well take us through Iowa and into New Hampshire, which is insane. Insane for three of the top candidates to be removed from the road this late in the game.
Yeah.
That is, or just when it matters the most. If I, not to indulge my Alex Jones one more time, but I think that this was one of my lock it in, and here's one that you can take. TMS listeners, I'll give you this little free sample if you don't listen to the PX3 podcast.
Boner.
All right, go ahead.
You can take this one and rip off this take. One, if not all, of those Senate candidates are going to blame Nancy Pelosi for why they lost.
Oh, wow.
You're already seeing it start to leak out. And considering what minuscule things people blame on why they lost, this is far more of a concrete reason why they can blame that they didn't win Iowa. They had to make up ground in New Hampshire. They would have won New Hampshire if they would have been able to come out of Iowa with the lead. And to be totally honest, I think that there's far more credence in that than some of the other lame-ass excuses that people come up with as to why they would have, could have, should have won.
Yeah. Well, that might get ugly. We'll see how that goes. By the way, I just caught a Klobuchar in Pokemon Go about an hour ago. It was just outside the house here.
Did she throw a book at one of her staffers and eat a salad with a comb?
No, but Pokemon, they'll catch up.
Klobuchar throws a book against a staffer. It is very effective.
I have to give credit. Someone in the chat room actually made that joke, and I did a spin on it. Anyway,
Free Rangers.
Was it Free Rangers? Yeah.
Yeah,
there it is. Well, Justin, there we go. It's our update for the political world we live in, moving forward ever more toward the future. We'll see what happens. When's the next debate? It's like in a week or something?
Tonight.
Oh, shit.
Baby.
Mm-hmm. Tonight.
Are you live doing it? Doing a live deal?
Indeed. I'll be live right after TMS on my channel, Justin R. Young, taking all political questions and hashing out the Bernie Warren feud. And then tonight, I will be live along with my Contender co-creator, John Teasdale. We're gathering quotes.
Whoa.
Maybe some Contender action on the horizon. But yeah, we'll be live watching that debate. That is 9 p.m. Eastern. So I'll be live at 8 p.m. Eastern on the same channel, Justin R. Young.
That's awesome. Do check it out, everybody. Justin R. Young on Twitter, of course. And it's good to see you, man. Hope you have a good week. We'll talk to you soon.
See you, buddy.
Bye now.
See you.
Bye now. Oh, he left before I could kick him. So I'll kick him now. There he goes. Otherwise, we'll call him tomorrow by accident, and I don't want to do that.
Yes, exactly. At the top of the show.
That's it for today's show. Woo! Big beefy one, folks. Hope you enjoyed yourselves. Oh, I don't see Brian. Let me fix you. There you are.
See me.
Hear me. You were behind the jury wall there. Hey, quick note that if you like this show and you enjoy our content, patreon.com/TMS is the place to go. We have decided. We decided our play date was a Friday, but I can't remember what date. Can you remind me?
We decided the 31st.
31st
for a January play date, and then we're doing a Saturday in February, and I can't remember which one.
Yeah, we'll figure it out when we get there. But anyway, more on that coming up soon. More on the Vegas trip coming up soon. Lots of stuff to talk about. Yes. Tomorrow we'll have Tom, Nicole, all that business. Frogpants.com/TMS. And there are links now on the site for all the different video archive options for those who may listen or are like, man, I'd sure like to still check out video while YouTube is down. You can do so by going there, and you'll find links to the archives on Twitch, the library links, and the YouTube link will stay there until, and it should, when this gets resolved, it should come back up. But for now, it's just disabled. So I'm disabled, it said. All right. That's it. Brian, do you want to do song selection?
I'd like to if that's all right.
I would love it. I would love it.
Well, show of hands. Who else wants a song?
All right.
Luke wrote in, said, hello, Squash and Broccoli. For another year, I'm sending in my request for a Queen cover song for my birthday. I don't have a particular song in mind this year, so I was hoping that the master could find a recent cover, one done within the last couple of years, maybe. How much does Veronica like sausage? Because I really wanted to know.
Oh, man.
Also, I want to thank you for having the most supportive and wonderful community I know. Luke, aka Whatnot, a Whatnot in chat.
We want the long sausage, right?
Of course. Who doesn't?
All right, here it is.
Sausage.
Weird.
Still gets longer.
Still gets longer every
Yeah.
time.
Wouldn't
I don't know how that is
funny?
possible.
Wouldn't it be funny if I was secretly elongating the file every time?
There was a time that I was questioning whether or not you were doing that, but I decided it was too much work. And
It is too much work. You're right. I'm too lazy to do it. That's awesome.
It totally gets longer every time you play. It's like the tape gets stretched out.
Yeah,
Anyway,
very weird.
Recent-ish Queen cover. I really don't have anything in the last year or two. This one I bought within the last year, so I hope that counts. This one came out in 2017 by Scary Pockets. Now, Scary Pockets is the other Jack Conte band besides Pomplamoose. This one occasionally has Natalie Dawn involved, but not always. And it's a very funk. Like, if you like the stuff they do as Pomplamoose, you'll like the stuff that Jack does with Scary Pockets. This is from the 2017 album Funk Walker, and it is funky. Here is We Are the Champions featuring Sarah Dugas.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.
He's looking for clips.
Whoa!
Oh, jeez.
And play it again. I had to play
Let
it
it die! Let it die!
That one may never die.